Hey everybody, it's Rod Hairston with A Minute for Your Marriage, and it is that time of year. It's that time of year. It's football season. It is football season, and teams are in camp. They are in their preparation for the regular season, and I often get this question: what was it like working for an NFL team? More specifically, I get the question, what was it like coaching NFL couples? And that's what I want us to get into in this video. All right, so sit tight and we'll jump into it in just a moment. Working with NFL couples, not totally different than working with couples from any other walk of life. They need the same things that you and I need in our lives when it comes to our marriages. And so that's why I coach around emotional connection. And I want you to start working on your emotional connection. I want you to be as victorious and as winning in your marriage as any NFL couple. Would you download my Happy Marriage Workshop? It's a checklist of sorts. I talk about the 6 core areas that I coach in so that couples can have a happy, dynamic, deeply fulfilling, and strongly connected marriage. So that's just for you. That's my gift to you. I give that to NFL couples. I give that to couples in any other walk of life, whatever your profession is, whatever you're up to, that's my gift to you. So make sure that you go into the notes, click on the link, and get that Happy Marriage Workshop. Now, the other thing I want you to do is, if this content encourages you, helps you, if you like it, if it's meaningful to you, would you click the like button and would you please subscribe? Help us to reach as many couples as we can with this free content that I think is really, really important to share. All right, so what was it like to be part of an NFL team? I was technically brought in to be a chaplain. Eventually that sort of evolved from my perspective into a life coach, but almost all of my work, all of our work, because it was me and my wife and my kids, we were there to serve the team. We found ourselves focusing on what we saw a huge need for, and that was working with couples. That was helping couples. The couples who were coaches in the organization, sometimes people who were couples as part of the front office of the organization, mostly with players and their girlfriends, their spouses. We spent a great deal of time, and it seemed to me that every year we had a great couples gathering, right? We would have those every week. Every year that we had great couples gatherings, every year that there was great involvement with couples, we won championships, or at least we had really successful seasons. And so let me talk to you a little bit about how I got there. Like, people ask, how do you get to work for an NFL organization as a chaplain, spiritual coach, life coach? It all sort of evolved. How does that happen? Well, for me, it happened because of a mentor who had been serving another team, and he saw my work over years of working with college students, their relationships, their spiritual needs. He saw that over the years. I was working at Howard University and at UCLA, and he said, hey, would you be interested in becoming an NFL chaplain? And I actually said, no, I'm not interested. I'm cool where I am, loving what I'm doing. Nope, I'm not interested. And so I wasn't running after the position. I wasn't running after some role. I didn't even know what it entailed. And so I said, no, I'm good. We'll stay right here in Los Angeles, continue what we're doing, and moved on with life. Fast forward a couple of years, and we moved to North Carolina, where I'm working with another group as a public speaker, communicator, working with students around the country, working with leaders in their communication skills. It was part of my growing passion because I was enjoying public speaking and public teaching. And so we're there in North Carolina, and the same friend comes back and says, hey, there's a team in Baltimore that is looking for a chaplain. They're getting a new head coach and they need a chaplain. Would you be interested? I said, let me pray about it. So my wife and I, we prayed about it. We thought about it. We considered the opportunity. We went to visit with the organization, with the coach, with the players. And eventually they said, would you come and be our team chaplain? I had the amazing privilege of working with the team for 14 seasons and earning 2 Super Bowl rings. Yes, 2 Super Bowl rings. So that's how I got there. That's how the door was open. And the head coach at the time, I asked him, I said, hey, how would you like me to operate with your team? Because they didn't hire me as an employee. They just brought me in. And believe it or not, I raised my own money so that I could serve the team. Yep, that's exactly how it went. And we moved our family. Several of the players were very helpful. They wanted to see us get there and get settled. And it just turned out to be an amazing, amazing opportunity. I didn't run after it. I didn't chase it. I didn't fill out an application. I didn't make phone calls. Sometimes God opens a door just for you. I hope that encourages you. So that's how I got there. People say, what did you enjoy about it? What did you like about it? I loved so much about it. I loved the intensity of the environment. I loved the competition. I loved the energy. I loved watching the team work together year after year after year, trying to bring in the right talent, trying to really create a great culture of leadership, trying to get players and coaches and others in the organization moving in the same direction. It was an extraordinary learning experience for me. I can't imagine trying to even just explain to people all the things that I got to learn just being embedded within the organization. And what a trust, what an amazing trust to have this outsider who never played football be embedded in your organization. I'm grateful to have been trusted to carry out that role for 14 years. And so as much as I was teaching people and encouraging, and I was actually coaching people and didn't know it because coaching wasn't a profession for my role. You were a coach if you were a football coach proper, or if you were a strength and conditioning coach, or some other kind of coach, but coaching wasn't considered a thing. And then coaching became a thing, and I realized I've been coaching all of my career, all of my adult career. I was even coaching students when I was in college. Coaching was in my blood. It was in my bones, in my DNA. And so I got to be a part of the organization. Yes, I traveled for every game. I traveled, to every event. I was a part of the organization. And again, I'm grateful for that. They welcomed me. They welcomed my passion, my care, my love. So it was exciting, all of those things. It was exciting to be around personalities. And when I say personalities, I'm not going to name drop here, but you know, people like Ray and Ed and Terrell and Trent Dilfer. And wow, I could go on. So many amazing, amazing players and their spouses performed wedding after wedding, did premarital preparation after premarital preparation, spent a lot of time teaching groups. So I was involved in group coaching of couples. And I'm telling you, I enjoyed it thoroughly. I loved it thoroughly. And it was hard work, because nothing that wonderful is not hard work. So that's what I did for 14 seasons. So the question people often ask after that is like, so why did you leave? It was so amazing. Why did you leave? Well, I left because I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I like to start things. I I get excited about helping people. And I got to a place in my life where it was time for me to expand my work. And I'd done all that I could do at that point within the organization, but I was invited to help them develop the role and led the way for them to hire their next chaplain who is still working with the organization. I'm just telling you, it was an amazing experience. But here's what I want you to make sure that you get. No matter what your profession, no matter how much money you make, no matter how much fame you amass, how many people like you and know you, every couple needs support. Every couple needs coaching, I believe. Every couple, because nobody teaches us how to be married. And then add the pressures of NFL life and the pressures of sorting out the needs that other people, or the demands, that's a better way, the demands that other people make for your time and your resources. All of that adds pressure. And so it was my privilege for 14 years to be the chaplain, but really a coach. I think that's what I did. I'm not trying to, make up titles. This is what I did. And so it was a real privilege to do that. Now, you might not know, but most of my clients right now, because I work with clients in a very concierge fashion. I work privately. I have group clients as well, my coaching practice. And you might be interested. If you are, let me know. But most of my clients are NFL players and their spouses. So it's kind of evolved in that way because people still need the support. They need the care. Listen, you cannot do marriage on your own. Well, you can try, but most of us can't because most of us weren't taught. Most of us had models that had their own challenges. Some of us didn't have models. Some people didn't have models. And so working with NFL couples in those days and even now, it's a real privilege. It's a privilege to have such an invitation and a welcome to care for people in this very, very important space. I consider marriage a sacred space because literally generations depend on it. So that was my work as an NFL coach who worked with players and their spouses. Eventually, I should share this, the organization hired me to be full-time with them. So I went from having to raise all of my own money to being paid by the organization to do the work that I had been doing at that point for several years. And again, what an honor, what a great joy, what a great privilege. Did I already say 2 Super Bowl rings? I'm so proud of those rings. I'm grateful that they saw my work as valuable, right? So much so that they said, no, you're a part of this team. You helped us succeed. You helped us get to this championship level. And yes, you have earned a team. You've earned a ring, I should say. So I got to tell you this one last story, then I'm going to transition out. But one of my great stories, one of my most exciting stories was when we were in the Super Bowl playing the San Francisco 49ers. A guy by the name of Colin Kaepernick was the quarterback. And we are in New Orleans at the Superdome playing for the championship. And on the way out of the locker room, head coach John Harbaugh says to me, he says, Rev, that's what they called me. Rev, you got any words for me? I said, Coach, whatever happens, do not flinch. That's what I felt like I was supposed to share with him. He said, man, thank you so much. We go out and the game is sort of back and forth. And eventually we're up. And then the lights go out in the stadium. All the power goes out. And now you got this team full of players whose bodies have been warmed up from playing, whose bodies are now, they're trying to keep from getting stiff. And I thought to myself, and remember what I said, Coach, whatever happens, don't flinch. And we go on, yes, to win that historic game where the lights went out. And I was honored to be a part of it. That turned out to be my last game as an NFL chaplain. Turned out to be one of the most amazing experiences of my life because I got to bring my mom, my wife, my children, my pastor, to our final chapel service. And it was a huge, huge ordeal for me. So I eventually transitioned. And now my work is largely centered on working with couples, coaching them, helping them to really get these 6 things that I mentioned to you earlier in their marriages, right? And so again, I want you to get that happy marriage checklist. Make sure you like and subscribe to these videos. I didn't have so much marriage insights for you today, but I wanted to just share the story with you. If I could give you one insight, it would be this. No matter what your profession, no matter how in demand you are or how busy you are, make time to grow your marriage relationship. Make time to grow it. Make sure that you invest in yourself, in your marriage, because again, most people spend more money on their weddings than on the actual marriage. True story. I watched one couple, I was marrying them. They spent nearly $100,000 on flowers and linens. Yeah, that's not unusual in that space. Imagine if you spent 1/10 of that just on developing your understanding of how to build an emotional connection, on how to build your life together, right? And if you want to learn more about that, I want to invite you to make sure you check out my Dream Marriage Masterclass, a Dream Marriage Masterclass, where I go in depth through the 6 important tenets that will enable you and fuel you to grow a deep connection that will help you be able to resolve conflict quickly, will strengthen your communication skills, not just so you say the right words, but so that you can actually connect when you're communicating. Because that's the key. How do we communicate in such a way that we connect? That's what I want to help you do. I want to help you heal traumas that each of you bring into your marriage. There's a whole module on that. Then I want you to understand how to meet deep emotional needs in each other's lives. If you can do these, you can work through any conflict. You can have an amazing sex life. You won't have to fight over money because it's all embedded in those 6 vital things that I teach in the Dream Marriage Masterclass. So hey, this is Rod Harrison. It is my joy, my privilege to be alongside you here at A Minute for Your Marriage. Thank you for taking time. Thank you for letting me be a coach to you. Thank you for letting me encourage you and give you some inspiration, I hope, for your journey of marriage together. All right, I'll see you in the next